Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Megacat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon, from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bunte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hey, this is Brimstone, and you're listening to Roger Reichart on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my good friends and co-hosts. First off, we have the CEO and president of Gamerheads, Phil.
Hold on, I'm ratifying some bills. Oh, wait, and let's go like this.
Oh, that's right. That's your cue to crack open a. Oh my God! You just drink it like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was amazing. Well, welcome to the show, Phil.
Thanks for having me.
And then, of course, we have Mike. This is a good song. Wait. I love that ending. I just love that ending. Marketing heard your complaints last week, Mike, and they said, oh, he liked the first song. And since we don't have a guest, they thought we could pull the whole song in for this week. Because last week, because Baron was on the show, they had to cut your song short because Baron needed a longer song.
I just hear a dog squeaky toy in the background, too, just to kind of add on to everything.
Oh, welcome, Mike, to the show.
Actually, I'm going to be forming a union.
Ooh.
A union of one. And,
I'll support a union.
Going on strike until my demands are met.
Yeah.
Phil, you're the president.
Yeah, and I'm a very, very union supportive president because unions make the world go round and give people 3 days off of work. And you know what I don't get from work? 3 days off of work because we're open to every day except for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the 4th of July. So therefore, go unions.
Okay. I know I agree with you. I'm just yeah. So anyway, Mike, so you're not happy? I mean, marketing thought
I've already filed my grievance. And if you have any questions, you can direct them to my union representative.
Tested well in Poland, though.
Yeah.
It did, for sure.
So you can, yeah.
So did they have to workshop that? They have to workshop that again, that song? Is that what you're saying?
No. You can keep the song. I just I need a title to go with it.
Oh,
that's one of my many demands. So here's
you want the name of the song? I can get that for you.
So I have a list of demands as part of my union.
I'm taking notes as the president and CEO.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, because I'm not taking notes.
Okay, so here's what I need. I need an official title.
Okay. So
instead of just Mike is not my title. So it's got to be. So I need to have a title, and I need to have either Mr. or Doctor or Professor in front of my name.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to need, on average, 2 free games a month.
Whoa.
But yes. So, but it's okay because the games are going to be Tiger handheld electronics games.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to need 2 of those.
Those are actually more difficult to get a hold of.
Well, I mean, these are my demands.
Okay. I thought when you said it's not so bad, you're like, oh, it's this Tiger handheld. That made it worse, actually.
Well, you got your work cut out for you then. So I've got that.
Okay.
Every Wednesday, I need a calzone and a Dr. Pepper Zero delivered to my house.
Wow.
From the pizza place closest to your house.
Dude, I had you all the way up until then. I have got a title for you.
Oh.
Because you play a large hand in bringing in people from the outside community into the show. That's a very large hand, Mike. No, I can't see you. See what I did there? Huh? I propose that we promote you to the Professor of International Talent Relations.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
So I have to remember that? Now I have to introduce you that way every week?
This is why I take notes.
Okay. All right. Well,
Just
can you
call
send
me
me that
Peter.
note? Yeah. There we go.
The
I'll just call you
Professor
Peter.
of International Talent Relations.
Yeah.
Peter.
Peter for sure.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, that sounds
All right.
even worse than no title at all.
That's true. You went from having a really nice sounding
Here's
title
Mike.
to just being a Peter.
Yeah.
Which is my brother's name. He's
Mike's
a
our
Peter.
official Peter.
He's...
Well, then fine. I'll allow that.
Okay.
If you get a guy, if you get a guy named Peter on the show and make him your official Mike.
I can do that. I have a Peter at my disposal.
Yeah. There we go. We got it.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. We can make one demand at least. At least
My
one.
brother would be very confused as to why he's on the show, but he'd do it.
That'd be hilarious. When is Rachel going to come on the show? I thought she was going to come on the show at some point.
She's camera shy.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to our patrons as well, Jill and Matt. You can also sign up to be a patron of the Gamerheads podcast by going to patreon.com/gamerheads. There's a link in the show notes, and as little as $3 a month, you can support the show and all the crazy stuff we do here as well. So, Phil, did you have something you have to say here?
I mean, if Mike doesn't like his title, since we're gamer heads, Mike could be the head gamer.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Wasn't that
you
kind of
could
close
be.
to your eyes? Okay.
I'm not the head gamer.
No, I'm the head of Gamer Heads. You just
Yeah,
be
he's
the head
of
gamer.
Gamer Heads. You be a head gamer, and I'll just be gamer. Does that sound,
But it's
that
your
sound
show.
good?
You know
Well,
what,
it used to be my show.
I take it all back. No. I'll just take the pizza slice of pizza.
Oh, okay.
And then that'll be
You got a slice of pizza. You went from a fucking calzone to a pizza that quick.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, you need a new representative in the union.
Yeah, Rachel Ziegler is my representative.
So you don't want any of the other stuff, just the slice of pizza. Okay. I can probably make that happen.
Oh, and some cheese curds. Give me those cheese curds.
The squeaky kind?
Those are the best kind.
They won't be squeaky by the time they get to your house.
Referenced squeaky cheese.
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
From Wisconsin?
It might have been set in Wisconsin. I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I read a lot.
Wow. So before we get into all the fun stuff that we have going on, there's one thing I want to talk about.
That wasn't fun?
Yeah, it was somewhat fun, I guess. Sure.
This ain't over. Just I haven't signed anything, so.
Oh, okay.
The strike continues.
I thought we avoided your strike, but guess not.
No, we haven't signed anything, so we can keep going. But just so you know, you're only going to get 75% Peter today.
Okay. Well, then let's get moving.
That's the reverse of just the tip.
Oh, God. So recap of the Unity issues. So last week, there was a town hall. So we talked about the Unity situation. There was a town hall. They had a town hall. They talked about how they were listening to the community, and because I attended the town hall, and they said they listened, and they made some changes. So some of the changes are that it won't take effect until the 1st of January. So if you made your game on the current build of Unity, the changes are that now that won't count against, like the downloads won't count against you with the current build. So before that change, it was they would look back at least, I think, 2 years based on how many downloads and how much revenue you made, and then they would charge you based on that. But now they're saying nope, that takes place also as of the 1st of January. There is the other big change I would say is that they said that you can choose between the downloads or 2.5% revenue sharing with a cap of, I think, $1 million in revenue or something like that. But that is your choice. They said that they feel that the downloads would probably be cheaper, but you can choose. And the other thing that was a big change, you do your own self-reporting, which I thought was kind of strange. Like, so
I
now
sold 3.
Yeah,
sir,
exactly.
Red Dead Redemption 3. Yeah, we only sold 3 copies.
Yeah, we only sold 3 of it. Sorry. I thought that was kind of a strange thing, but yeah, they said that you do your own reporting because there was concerns of piracy and stuff like that. There were a couple things that were mentioned. The person that was interviewing them asked them some pretty hard questions. One of them being, what's this that the CEO sold all these shares and other important people sold all these shares before these announcements? And the official answer from Unity was it's automatic, that when it hits certain thresholds of money that these shares are sold.
It's like a stock split.
That's what they were saying. Which
sounds like some stock shit.
Probably is true in some cases, but I don't know about this case. So that was that. A lot of apologies. It was just really sorry. Hope we can win your trust again. And I guess the question I'd have for you, what?
So are they based out of Canada?
Yeah, no, they're not. But that's very funny. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's too much lost trust that Unity devs are going to go running away? I don't know.
Oh yeah. One of the biggest things about customer service is it takes a lifetime to earn somebody's trust and a minute to lose it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's true. That's a true statement.
It's true.
It is.
Absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, it sounds to me like the entire town hall was an oh shit knee-jerk reaction to the backlash that they received, which is totally understandable, and you got to kind of cover your bases.
Yeah.
And try to get back in the good graces of people, developers, creators. Us.
And us. Yeah, actually, it does affect us. We said that last week, how it could affect us, right?
See?
I think, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, I have seen some people saying, okay, this is a fairer shake than what you had before. Yeah. For those that are listening, Mike just did a shimmy.
Shook.
Yeah,
it was a fair shake.
It was a fair shake. So yeah,
I told you were only getting 75%.
That's true. That's true.
It could have been an above average shake, but nope, the strike is on.
That's right. The other thing that we didn't talk about, because the Unity thing took over most of our segment last week, the Xbox leaks that were part of the FTC thing.
That is a damn shame.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear about this, Phil?
You didn't know about this?
I seriously spend 1% of my time on social media. I don't pay attention to anything. It's great. It's wonderful.
Okay. Well, so they're going through that FTC. Is FTC right?
Activision Blizzard stuff still?
That whole stuff. Yeah.
That whole stuff. Yeah. And so they were supposed to upload some information to the government's portal, so that it can be used in the court of law. And apparently, it was an unsecure link, and somehow somebody realized this and downloaded, I don't know, terabytes worth of data or something. Yeah, it was crazy.
They uploaded all these documents and didn't redact a lot of. They didn't redact anything, or they forgot to, or they uploaded the wrong files. So we are now privy to the next probably year and a half of Microsoft plans.
Yeah. Huh. So they talked about what the next console might look like. It's going to be like a hybrid computer type thing, right? So it's going to be cloud.
It's going to be it's going to be I don't think they talked about the next system. I think they talked about, I don't know. Or are you talking about the next system, or are you talking about the Series X upgrade?
Well, they talked about that too, but I thought there was also
so that was
hints
something
at
different.
The future of this hybrid computer type thing. But yeah, the next Series X that's coming out next year, I think that's what the document said, is going to be diskless, and what was the controllers? The controllers were kind of unique too, right?
Oh yeah, they're coming out with a refresh on the controller next year.
Wow. Yeah, and haptic.
They're adding some cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Not like a redesign of it.
Not a full redesign. No, it's just like the system. They're coming up with a midlife refresh.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, not going away from the shape and the feel of the controller as it is now.
They're going from what? No, I thought they looked more like a control stick, like a handheld stick, wasn't it?
I think it looks just like the regular Xbox controller.
I guess I'll have to look again. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that. I think the one that everybody kind of latched onto, which I just take as people sending emails and just saying things in an email, right? But the one that people seem to latch on the most was
that makes me so angry.
The Nintendo one? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, you're gonna get 75% of a rant out of me if you bring this up, just so you know.
Well, I kind of want to know.
So in an email, Phil Spencer just commented in an email that wouldn't it be amazing for his career if he was able to acquire Nintendo? And to me, I think a lot of people took that as like, oh, whoa, what the heck? And I'm like, that's just
spitballing.
It's just spitballing, right?
It's like that'd be like me saying it'd be great for us to acquire Giant Bomb.
Yeah, exactly. You did send that email once, though, didn't you? Didn't you say
probably?
That? Probably. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that would be a career moment, Phil, if you're able to get Giant Bomb. That's really what Phil was just saying. This is a career. This would be amazing for my career if I was able to do this and pull this off. He was spitballing, and also like, wasn't it right around the time when they were thinking about getting Activision? Like, wasn't that like? I mean, I think it was just office chatter, right? That's all I think it is. But Mike, I guess the floor is yours if you want to rant.
The email was sent in 2020.
Yeah.
And it was an off-the-cuff comment. And it was like, hey, if we're able to... And it was part of the different acquisitions. And I think... I forgot who the other company, they said it would be cool if they got them as well. Oh, well. But yeah, they said, how cool would it be if we got Nintendo? And these clickbait websites and YouTubers just jumped on it like a pack of hyenas. Because that's what they are anyways.
Absolutely.
And every single one, oh, good, this will get our comments section all riled up. So let's post on it like, oh, let's see, how can we misconstrue the title of the article to make people mad? I know, Phil Spencer tried to buy Nintendo. Hostile takeover. That's the term they use. Phil Spencer tried to do a hostile takeover of Nintendo. More information. It was an off-the-cuff comment in an email. And it doesn't, and obviously, obviously the guy's smart enough to know that Nintendo would just laugh him out of the office.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be basically the equivalent of like one of the higher ups at Sony essentially be like sitting in a boardroom scratching his head being like, this Microsoft Blizzard Activision thing is really kind of messed up and it's going to hurt us a lot. Microsoft should go fuck themselves. And then all of a sudden the next day, like the headlines are reading, John Schmuckwad from Sony says Microsoft should go F themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's the same kind of a concept. It's just like reporting on just office chatter.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. I agree. And speaking of PlayStation though, there's retirement happening there. The head of
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan is retiring. So that's cool. Good for him. Thanks for 30 years of awesome stuff on PlayStation. It's very cool.
I'll give you 25.
30 years on and off. I'll say 30 years on and off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway, that's I think the thing that I was most upset about was the fact that it spoiled some surprises.
Yeah, I was bummed out about that. Well, you know me, I don't like to know things too far ahead. And now this is like a year and a half ahead of time. So
yeah.
So that's why I kind of tried to avoid that as much as possible. But there was some announcements or some games that they were working on that were spoiled. So
yeah. Oh well. Speaking, anything else on that topic? Otherwise, we'll move on.
No, I got nothing.
Okay, so then speaking of fake news.
Just fake.
There we go. So let's move into our fake news segment. In this segment, I will read a headline and you at home can play along. But Mike and Phil on the air here will play against each other to determine whether the article is a fake or a real article. So the first article that I'll have here, and I think, oh my God, Mike, you did you go first last time? I think you went first last time. So we'll have Phil go first this time. The first article I have here is titled Fortnite maker Epic Games cutting 16% of their workforce. Is that real or fake?
I'm going to say it's really fake.
Really fake?
Yeah.
So that means it's fake?
Yeah, I think it's fake.
Okay.
Nah, actually I don't, because I think Fortnite's kind of fizzled at this point, so it's real. Fuck it.
Okay. Mike?
It's... I don't know if you're trying to trick me here, because that's the big news of the day, is that they're cutting a lot of the workforce. I don't know if it's 16, though. So I'm going to say it's fake only because the number is fake.
Oh, it's real. 16%. Almost 900 people are being let go across all of Epic. You know, a big one, actually. They're not closing the doors. Like, there was like a big concern that, my goodness, the studio's closing the doors. But Fall Guys actually took a huge hit. A lot of the folks at Fall Guys were let go.
I like Fall Guys.
So it also was selling Bandcamp. I didn't know this, but apparently they acquired that last year, the online music site. So they canceled that. And in a memo to the staff, Tim Sweeney said this. Epic said it had tried to cut cost, but it was still, quote, spending way more money than we earn. And quote, I'll continue to quote here. We concluded that layoffs are the only way, and that doing them now and on this scale will stabilize our finances, said Tim Sweeney, CEO.
Well, isn't there now the rumor going around that they're jacking up the price of Fortnite bucks too, and that you can get refunds for all your Fort bucks and stuff like that?
Yes.
It's like $1 more or something like that.
They're saying because of rising inflation and other global things.
I get the inflation aspect of it, but also Fortnite. How about you quit acquiring the licenses to every single property on the planet if you want to save some money?
Right. Well, that's a good point. And how can a company that 1 minute boasts, look at all the profits we made, and then it's like, and we have to let go of 900 people. Sorry. Yeah. It's weird.
Well, here's the thing. How much did they lose? There was that class action lawsuit against them for charging people on Fortnite, so they just had to pay like $590 million.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. That's a good point.
So I'm sure that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. It was funny. I got actually a fake scammer email about that saying, click here to get your chunk of that money. And I'm like, didn't even really play Fortnite to get any of this money. So nice try. But yeah, that's a good point, Mike. I forgot about that. So that's real. My heart goes out to the people or our hearts collectively, Gamerheads, to the people that were laid off. That's not fun. The next article here, then I'll start with you, Mike. And wait, oh my gosh, NVIDIA? Yeah, there we go. NVIDIA, right?
NVIDIA?
Yeah, there we go. Offices were raided by French competitive authorities this morning in France. Not in the U.S., but France morning,
so
which was a couple hours ago.
NVIDIA offices were raided by French authorities?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's fake, only because I have no faith that there's any authority in France.
That's very funny.
Maybe they knocked on the door and said, "Oh, please, can you please open the door?" And then maybe they rang the doorbell. And ran. We don't have. Hey, come on. We have a strong listenership in Poland. We don't have a strong listenership in France. So the hell with those guys.
Wow. We actually might. So I don't know. I don't know about that.
I love the French.
Yeah. French fries are great.
Worst form of potato.
Yeah,
I adore mi amor. I don't know.
Mi amore?
Bad song?
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Okay, you say it's fake, Phil? What do you think? Real or fake?
As a shareholder in NVIDIA, I believe that's real news.
It is real news, yeah. So the the French offices were raided this morning by the country's competitive authority over concerns about anti-competitive practices.
Competitive authorities.
Yeah,
I know. You guys finished in second.
I think that's kind of a funny name for it too. But I guess the concern is that when AI started coming about, and Microsoft and other companies went out and started buying chips from NVIDIA, and they made a huge amount of profits off of this. And now there's concerns that there's a little bit of a monopoly going on. I don't know. That's all we know so far. But
Their stock is continuously soaring, and I didn't look at the market today to see if it did not go up or if it went down today after the raid happened. But
the raid only happened a couple hours ago, Phil. Like as of recording right now.
Oh well, then I'll check my stocks tomorrow.
Yeah,
to hell with it.
Yeah.
You guys think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I'm not. I believe you. You're the CEO of Gamerheads. I mean, this is where you invest our money, right?
Yeah, and NVIDIA and WWE and Microsoft, and then I put some money into Nintendo, and they lose money because they're Nintendo, and it's true. I can show you the portfolio.
Yeah, I believe that. So that's a real one. So we're tied.
2-0 for the love of God. No bullshit. I'm 2-0.
What? No, you're not. No, you're not. You got that one right.
Yeah, 2-0. 2 wins, 0 losses.
You didn't get the first one right.
Are you even paying attention?
Oh, you did get that first one right.
This is how I bought the company out from under you. Because you don't pay attention, Roger.
That's true. That's a good point. Okay. So the next article here. Nintendo opens virtual reality office to attract top talent worldwide. Is that fake or real? Phil?
That's fake.
Mike?
Nobody talented's going to Nintendo.
I was going to say fake for the exact opposite reason. Nintendo doesn't need to attract talent. The talent looks for them.
That is fake. You're right. You're absolutely right. That is a fake headline. And then finally, my last headline I have here. Netflix announces new animated shows based on video games. Is that real or fake, Mike?
Real.
Phil, real or fake?
Even I saw that headline. I believe there was like a Devil May Cry in there and something else.
Yeah, you're right. Tomb Raider. So Devil May Cry and then Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, an animated series that follows the iconic heroine Lara Croft, voiced by Haley Atwell. I don't know if you knew that or not.
What just happened, Mike? And who's Haley Atwell?
What? She played Agent Carter.
I don't
Peggy
think
Carter?
Seen the Marvel movies.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Okay. The series is set to premiere in 2024 and will continue the story from the 2013 to 2018 video game reboot.
Oh,
so that's
those are good.
Cool. Yeah. So, and then you're right. Devil May Cry was also listed as well.
Also, Ubisoft announced, I think, a Blood Dragon cartoon.
Oh, cool. I did not know that.
And I just forgot what I was going to say. Oh, shoot. There it is. Yeah, sorry. My brain's operating at like
75% capacity.
70 and 80%.
Yeah.
On Netflix just came out the new season of Castlevania. So,
yeah, that's right.
And, Phil, I don't know if you've seen it, but the Castlevania series is amazing.
It's really good.
I have not, but I've heard good things about it. And maybe I did watch the first episode and it was kind of anime, so I was kind of turned off because it was kind of anime.
Don't. It's
yeah.
It has.
It's very good.
I can see what you're saying with the anime, but it's awesome. So the new season, and this one is based on Castlevania X, I think.
Yeah.
Or Castlevania, whichever came before Symphony of the Night.
Yeah. It's very good.
With Richter. So yeah. So no, I'm excited to watch that.
Me too. Mike, you said you had something else you wanted to bring up. Some rumor or something?
Yeah, I had 2 bits of news. The first, well, actually, no, it's just the one bit of news because I'm not even going to talk about the other one because it still gets on my nerves.
Wow.
Well, remember how I've always talked smack about that guy, the game that I put on Kickstarter, and the guy still hadn't released it 6 years later.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. The Chicken Wiggle.
Well, I'm not going to say him because I don't want to give him any press. But he finally announced. But he finally announced a release date. And that was going to be my question. So let me ask you a question: if somebody says I dropped the ball, do you consider that an apology, or do you consider an apology to be the 2 words "I'm sorry" or "I apologize"?
It's like 75% of an apology.
All right.
I would say, I guess
he didn't even say I. He said we.
Oh
well,
we dropped the ball
collectively as a team. I get that.
Yeah,
but I don't think he works as a team. I don't know maybe he's got other people helping him. But yeah.
So when's the game announced?
It's coming out in March. And then the very next day he announced another game
delayed.
that I think is coming out sooner.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is your gripe because he's come out with games sooner than the game that he kickstarted.
Yeah, he took I don't want to get into it. It's just going to make me angry. So, this next bit of info is a rumor.
Okay.
And if this is true, if this does come true, I'm going to make happiness noises. I don't know. That was like 40% of my brain at that point. I'm going to be very happy if this rumor turns out to be true. Rumor is that Supermassive Games has acquired the rights to either Scream or the Ghostface character. And they're going to make an Until Dawn style game in the Scream universe.
Fuck yeah.
Wow, that'd be amazing.
That's a rumor. Now there's two different. So from what I understand in terms of the legalities of it, there's the company that owns the Scream mask and the design of the character. Okay. And then there's the company that owns Scream, the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Two separate owners. One owns the character and the other one owns the franchise. Kind of like how Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th worked out, because those other movies you saw, it was called Jason X and Freddy versus Jason. The words Friday the 13th didn't appear in any of those because different companies held different rights. So I'm not, obviously it's just a rumor at this point, but it's obviously going to be either a Ghostface thing or it'll be a full-on Scream thing, obviously with Ghostface.
That's pretty cool.
Which is really cool because in their last game, The Quarry, it had David Arquette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if it was like a whole new story, or shoot, even if it was like a side story that takes place in between any of the other movies.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about how awesome it would be if Supermassive
got licensed games.
Had licensed games. I'd be blown away. Can you imagine how awesome a Nightmare on Elm Street game would be? Gosh. Like with the special effects.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
So
that'd be pretty amazing.
Hopefully that's real. Fingers crossed.
I mean, be amazing for you guys because you guys would love that. I still wouldn't play
come
it,
on,
but...
Scream's not scary. It's a whodunit. It's a gory whodunit. Have you ever seen a Scream movie?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I watched Scream. I just wouldn't play the game. Like, watching it is not...
Well, that makes sense.
Do they... Never mind.
Okay. That was a good point there, Phil.
Yeah, I appreciate the input, Phil.
Well, what I was wondering is if Supermassive Games has got public shares.
Oh my God, you just go out there trying to buy stuff, aren't you? Look at you. We lost Phil for the rest of the show. He's just gonna look and see what kind of shares he can go buy up. So, cool. Well, that's a cool rumor. So let's move on to games that we're currently playing. And
the hell was that sound effect for games we're currently playing for?
That sounded like you were closing the door on an airplane.
Quite ominous.
No, that was my transition. That was a transition sound. Listen to this again.
That's a sonic. That's not a transition noise.
That's a transition.
Boom.
No, that is a transition.
That's a train being derailed.
No, it wasn't. That's the sound effect you hear at the opening to A Current Affair.
Yeah.
You remember that old show, A Current Affair, from the 90s?
I guess. No? I don't know. I got this from Mark. He said this is a transition sound.
Who's Mark?
Play it.
He's not
from marketing. From marketing. He's Mark from marketing.
Actually, it also sounds like when the doors close when you're playing NFL Blitz.
Oh.
And you put it... Midway presents NFL Blitz. Yeah, that's okay.
Have we been using this sound the entire time?
Yes, Phil. We've been using it for a couple times now. Not the entire
Phil,
time.
I'm adding this to my list of grievances.
Dumb sound effects.
Yeah, we need to change
for no reason.
Oh my God. All right, let's talk about games we're playing. Mike, what games are you currently playing?
I am still going crazy with Tears of the Kingdom. I'm getting close to the end of the game. I just collected my second to last memory. And now I'm going to go on and do the fourth dungeon, I've got I've got the Goron all done, I've got the Rito all done, I've got the Gerudo all done. So now I just need to do the fishy people.
Ooh,
help me out, Roger. Who are the fishy
people?
Yeah, the people that hang out.
What are they called?
The fishy people? I don't know. You're asking
It's
the
in
wrong
my
guy.
brain somewhere. What?
That's all right.
You're the Nintendo guy.
Zoras. The Zoras.
Hey, Zoras.
That's
yes.
it, the Zoras. So I still need to do that. So I'm getting close to the end of the game. Still having a lot of fun. There's just so much stuff to do on the side, so that's a lot of fun. The boy and I beat Resident Evil 5. Woo! It's so much fun. Love it, and I want to keep playing it. And we're going to play it again on the harder difficulties to unlock everything.
Nice.
I love it. It's just, the guy who played Wesker did an amazing job. Everything was just awesome about it. Speaking of Resident Evil, started playing Separate Ways, and it's so awesome how how Ada's story intersects with Leon's story, and there's certain things that happen in the original campaign that you see on from the flip side from her perspective. So awesome game. I mean, honestly, you can't say anything bad about Resident Evil 4. Such an amazing game. So Separate Ways that just came out, got that. And then I downloaded a demo for a game because it looked stupid and fun and silly. The game was called Super Adventure Hand.
What?
I know, this sounds like a game that I would assign to Phil.
Yeah,
the game is called Super Adventure Hand, and it's like a 3D platformer game where you play as a disembodied hand. So
I would assume like Thing,
like Thing, yeah, just like Thing.
Yeah.
And I was curious to see how it looks because the fingers like crawl and stuff like that. And the demo was interesting. It was, and I'm not going to say it was bad, because it wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be like a 3D, kind of like Glover, if you remember Glover.
Yeah.
Or a game like Banjo-Kazooie or something like that, where it's just a big 3D world and you're crawling around and stuff. Unfortunately, that's not what this is. It's more like a it's just like a kind of like Super Monkey Ball almost, where you're getting from point A to point B. It's that kind of view. It's going from point A to point B. You can jump, you can flick things, and you can grab onto things, and you just got to make it to the coffee mug at the end of each level, and then you go on to the next level. So at least that was what I got in the demo. It was interesting that the hand was walking all weird. It had like that weird physics, kind of like I Am Bread or Octodad Traveler or whatever that game was.
Yeah.
So not a bad game. It just wasn't what I was expecting.
I just realized the name that you just gave that name. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Nice. Do you remember that game Freddy Spaghetti? Do you remember that game?
Freddy Spaghetti. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like Freddy. Yeah, but again, I mean, the game looks interesting. It was, it's an interesting opening animation, and it was like a full blown cartoon where the hand is cut off at the forearm or cut off at the elbow. So it's just a hand walking around with the forearm in the woods, and he gets his ass kicked. I don't know how he got his ass kicked, but he got his ass kicked.
He got his hand kicked.
He got his hand kicked by a couple of disembodied feet.
Oh.
And the feet steal his forearm. So all he is just a hand, and he's trying to get his forearm back. How do they come up with that story?
Yeah, that's weird, but it's sad.
Sounds like a cutaway in Family Guy or something like that. You remember the time I lost my arm? What? But it's an interesting game. Like I said, it works. It's got it works. It's not like what was it, the 911 OMG game or something like that.
OMG Police.
Yeah, that
Simulator 2005.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So.
I think that was my pick, actually. Wasn't that my pick one week? I think so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, that was it. That was all I played.
That was it. Phil, what about you? What have you been playing?
Me and my normal group of people that I play games with have gotten kind of weird lately. And we got back into Rocket League.
Oh.
After a 3-year hiatus, which...
Yeah. We played that a lot. During the pandemic.
Yeah. I haven't touched it since 2020. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we played that a lot. Like we had a big group playing that for a while.
A whole bunch of people were playing it in 2020. Not much has changed.
Oh,
it plays just like Rocket League, and it's all muscle memory. They've added a couple of new maps, and outside of that, it's Rocket League. But it's a lot of fun after you take 3 years away from it, where you're just kind of like, all right, I remember this game, and I remember what made this game fun. Like, it was, it's been nice to kind of go back and revisit it after so much time away.
You see, I don't know if I'd be able to play it again, just because for the life of me, I cannot fly. I just cannot.
I can't
the mechanic.
No.
And I can't, and I'm sure everybody else knows how to fly. So
no,
I'm just
they
driving
don't.
around.
That's the fucked up thing is like we weren't getting overmatched and overpowered by anybody as we were playing. Like everything was pretty evenly. Like you could tell whenever you'd get against a group of people that have been playing this entire time, but more often than not, it was not people that have been playing the entire time. And we've won as much as we have lost. Which I thought was kind of, because I was just expecting us to get throttled as well. And we started out like 3 or 4-0, and I'm just like, what is, okay, what's happening here? We don't even remember what button boost is yet.
That's funny, because my son really wants to play Rocket League with me, like a lot. So
yeah, it's a good time. We almost played it again tonight too, but event going on in Overwatch, so we didn't. So we played Overwatch instead. But yeah, still playing Overwatch, still playing MLB The Show, still playing. I don't know what the hell else all I play. But then I got a wild hair in my keister tonight, or this afternoon. I started playing As Dusk Falls.
Oh yeah,
which is
that
game that's been sitting in my backlog since it was put onto Game Pass, and
last year.
Yeah, and I stared at it and I was like, all right, it's time for me to get into this. When I first booted it up, almost immediately I noticed how unique the graphical style is and how much the character animation drove me insane. I'll elaborate that a little bit before I get into everything else. So characters' background objects are animated frame by frame, like a smooth animation. Like I'll say, for example, you walk through a beaded curtain, the beaded curtain will part and come back together like a beaded curtain would. But the person that's walking through it will be behind the beaded curtain, then halfway through the beaded curtain, then all the way through the beaded curtain.
Interesting.
So it's kind of a...
I can see what you're saying there, yeah.
But it also all looks like it's hand-drawn, hand-designed, which I think is part of the reason for that. And as I continue to play it, I'd guess I'm halfway through Chapter 2 at this point. I haven't put a ton of time into it, probably about an hour and a half. It grew on me, and it didn't bother me as much.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Sorry.
No.
Tell me if I'm wrong. To me, it kind of sounded like the animation style of that game we played, that One Night Stand.
I don't think I played One Night Stand.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was where you wake up in bed with the girl and you try to...
Oh, yeah, kind of similar to that. But the art in it is superior to the art in One Night Stand, in my opinion. It does
the art in One Night Stand is better? Is that what you're saying?
in this new Dusk Falls, yeah.
Dusk Falls, yeah.
I don't know why I got myself into it, because there's a couple of QuickTime events that happen in it, and I was just bitching about QuickTime events last week. But these ones kind of make a little bit more sense, because it kind of plays almost like a Supermassive game or a Telltale game as well, where it's very narrative heavy, which isn't a bad thing, because the story that's being told here is very intense, and you're kind of playing, as far as where I am right now, 2 different sides of the story. It's a family that's moving cross country that gets intertwined with some people that are trying to make money on the quick and sleazy way. And you end up to where I am, inside of a hotel as hostages to these people. But you start out playing as the family, just having basic family type of a stuff. And then you flip over to playing as, I'm going to call them the bandits, just for lack of a better term. And you play through them going through and robbing a house, and then you cut back to the family at the hotel, and then you continue to play at the family at the hotel as the bandits come into the hotel and take them hostage, essentially. It's the voice acting is super fucking spot on. That F-bomb was absolutely unnecessary there. But it's really, really spot on. There's licensed music in it as well, which I thought was kind of unique, which they've got like a streaming mode in it, which I'm sure is what turns off licensed music and things like that. Don't know if any of the actors or the voice actors are known people, but my time that I put into it right now, I am putting this as an upper echelon type of that style of game, if that makes any kind of sense. Like, I'm really, really enjoying the ride that it's taken me on thus far, and I plan on putting a lot more time into this and playing this through to the end. It also gives you, every time you make a decision or a choice, it'll show up on the screen that it's like, all right, this is like major turning point type of a thing. And then like when you finish chapter 1, it kind of does like a flow chart, and it'll show like what percentage of people went in which direction, and it'll have like empty cells for what you didn't select.
Yeah.
So it shows how many different options and alternatives that there are, and it looks to be quite hefty. Like I said, I'd say the game's charming, but it's actually really, really dark. But it's so well done that I can see myself easily coming back into this, if not after recording the show, just to complete chapter 2 and playing my way all the way through it, because I'm very intrigued with where it's going. And it's pretty tense storytelling too, which is awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that was a game that yeah, is it sad? Is that what you said? Is it sad?
No, I was gonna ask if there was camping involved.
Not yet.
Camping?
Oh, okay. He said it was intense, so 75%, man.
75%.
You gotta get a better laugh than that. Jeez, I'm just.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Dust Falls. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say that was a game that was like on my list last year, and I really wanted to play it. I just never got to. I need to play that game.
I think it's still on Game Pass. I highly recommend it. From my experience that I've had so far with it, like I do not have a bad thing to say about it, other than the fact that I found the animation to be annoying to start with, but then it grew on me.
That's cool. Yeah, that was. I mean, it got a little bit of hype when it first came out, and then it just kind of fizzled, and like people stopped talking about it. Like, and that was last year. Like this year feels like a major year for games to be forgotten about, like with all the releases that are happening. But cool. Anything else?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
But mind if I step in for a quick minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have another demand.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I just needed to call out. I played a lot more Mortal Kombat 1, and that was it.
Nice.
I only mentioned that because Phil mentioned how awesome the voice acting was in that game, and it just reminded me of Megan Fox playing Natara in Mortal Kombat 1. How
was that
terrible
good?
she was.
Oh,
God, no, it was the worst.
Okay, because
I
remember that was one of the fake news that was real news like a couple weeks ago. And I was just like, really? Like that seems like an interesting choice, but
it was. Oh God, I finished the story mode in Mortal Kombat 1. Great story, by the way. Awesome, I loved it. It was so cinematic. It was like watching a movie. And then she comes out. I must have blood. I drink the blood. Oh my God, dude, just shut up.
She plays a vampire character that really isn't bad. She's kind of good, and
she plays a vampire character with zero personality.
Well, that's the part. She's not bad. She's kind of good. She just doesn't know, she doesn't know how to play that kind of good/bad character. Maybe that's
what they should have done. What they should have done is during all her scenes, they should have just popped up at the bottom of the screen. Joel and Tom Servo and Crow.
That would have been hilarious. I thought you were gonna say do you remember when it was like Toasty, that guy that would pop up? Yeah.
Dan Forden.
Yeah, they should pop that up.
I haven't seen a single Toasty yet.
Yeah, interesting. Was he in the last game? Was he in the last game? He was. Okay. Okay, so for myself, I've actually been playing quite a bit. I reviewed a game called Days of Doom. It is a game by Sneakybox and published by Atari. It is a great Halloween game because it takes place in the future, a post-apocalyptic future where you are taking on zombies. So it is Mikey, you're going to say this is not my kind of game because it is a tactical roguelike type game. So there we go.
Mike shuts off Xbox.
Yeah, that shuts off Xbox. Yep. So it is a roguelike, and similar to other roguelike games, like deck builders, where you get to choose your path, and each station has each icon means something different. Like the sword means you're going to get into a battle, and that's where the tactical piece comes in. There's tents where you camp and you get your health. There's only one tent, possibly one tent per board. So there's 6 worlds, I think. And then you have to make your way to the boss at the end of that world. And if you run out of gas, so every stop you make, you use gas. If you run out of gas, your run ends and your characters die. If you die, obviously your characters die. You can recruit new characters on the road, either through merchants. So if you meet merchants on the road, you can recruit them that way, or if they're being surrounded by zombies. There's random events that you might run into a character being surrounded by zombies, and if you save them, they'll join your team as well. I really love this game. The art is fantastic in this game. It's all hand drawn. It looks really cool. It looks like a graphic novel. And the characters are really cool too. So they don't go into much of the lore. I wish they would, but there are hydromancers, which they can use water and they can do special attacks. There's a couple brutes. So there's different classes. Like there's a gunslinger, and then there's a person that uses cards and knives for her abilities. And the fun part is that you can mix if you build a good team, you can like really work together as a team and use your special powers to your advantage. So I'll give you an example. The Hydromancer can do a special move where she pulls in all the enemies with a big whirlpool, pulls them all into this one area and just smashes them all together, and then they're all like with the effect of being wet. And then if you have a character that has electrical damage, he can do the electrical damage and zap them all and hit all the enemies in that wet area. It's really cool. You can do damage to your own characters too, though, if you're not careful. So it is a challenging game. I will say that. I wouldn't say it's punishing, but it is challenging. But you know, I reviewed it. I gave it I think a B. I liked it. The interesting thing about the game was that after every run, I wanted to do another one, and that I did not expect.
It's a sign of a good game. It's a sign of a good game.
Yeah. So even after my review, I was like, I'm going to play this game some more because I want to continue with this run. Like it was pretty fun. So I started over and played some more, and I really enjoy it. So that game's my review's up on the website at gamerheadspodcast.com. I have been playing a game called StarVaders. So this is a game that this is also in my wheelhouse. This is a game
sounds like it sounds like something you'd buy at the Dollar Tree.
It does.
I got my StarVader toy.
yeah, right. So it's a deck builder type game. The difference is that it's you have a little mech on the bottom of the screen, and it's like a board game, and aliens are coming down. So that's the Space Invaders type aspect.
Like Space Invaders? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you play the different cards to take out the enemies as they're coming down. And if they enter into your safe zone, you earn a point of doom. And if you get 10 points of doom, then your run is over. Like your run is over. But along the way, you can get new cards. You can level up your cards. And then there's boss battles. And when I was at PAX, I was so proud of myself because I made it to the second boss. And the second boss is really tough. But I made it to the second boss. And now back home, I've been playing it for quite a while. I can't beat the first boss. And I'm like, how could I beat the first boss at PAX the first time I ever played it? And now I'm struggling to beat this boss. I think I'm trying, not trying too hard. I think I'm like trying to be tricky. I think that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm not playing to win anymore. I'm like, what kind of cool stuff can I do? Because there's like really cool cards you can play, and that is my problem. I'm being too tricky. But the demo is out on Steam, so that is available, and it's actually a very robust demo, so you can go play that. And I'll just plug this here. I actually interviewed the developer as well, and that interview will be aired on Tuesday of next week. So you can listen to that on wherever you listen to your podcast, but on gamerheadspodcast.com as well. I have been playing a lot. I played a game called PixelJunk Scrappers Deluxe. It is a beat 'em up, and the premise is that humans they had a lot of trash. They decide to send all the trash off to space because that sounds like a great idea. And then the spaceship explodes, and all the trash comes coming back down to Earth and kills and wipes out the humans. But robots, the ones that they created to clean up the trash, are still there. And these robots are still programmed to collect trash. And your job is to go around and collect trash and throw it into a garbage truck as it drives along. And enemy robots are in your way, and they come and attack. And there's boss battles in that game too. It is very, very fun. I love it. It's online. You can play that game online. It's really fun.
It's not an isometric 3D perspective, is it?
No, it's a side scroller.
Okay. There was one.
Beat 'em up.
Okay. There was a beat 'em up that I saw a video for on Twitter, whatever X, and it was a isometric 3D perspective beat 'em up. So, and I'm like, wow, I've never played a beat 'em up that looks like this, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was the one because it almost sounded like what you were talking about. So that's not it. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah, no. That's fine. So I've been playing that. There's a game that I have been playing a lot of, and I can't talk about yet, but I cannot wait to talk about this game. I am super excited to talk about this game. One last game I'll talk about is Myth Force. Mike, you were high on this game. Or you thought this looked really cool.
Mike, don't just think Phil. I think Phil's the one you need to be.
Yeah. Phil, you were high. Mike, you like this game.
The trailer was very exciting. It looked like the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from the 80s.
Yes. So it's a roguelike where the animation is really cool. It's all that 80s cartoon look to it. So I'll say this. I have been playing it both on the Xbox Series S and Nintendo Switch. The Xbox Series S is the place to go to play this game.
No kidding.
That was the most PC response. That's not what you were saying in the chat, Roger.
That's true. That is true. That is not what I was saying in chat.
Well, it is what you were saying in the chat. You were saying the Xbox version was superior to the Switch version, but you were a little more detailed.
Yes, I was. So, but Mike, you have to play this game with me because it's really fun. I think I really like this game a lot. It's cool. The animation is so good. You can play online with your friends. Phil, I don't know if you have any interest in playing this game, but you can play with us as well. I just obviously I have it on Xbox, and Mike now has it on Xbox too because of that. So, but I like it. It's good. It's a good game. That's what I've been playing then. So let's move on then to our next segment here. Is that better?
It was the exact same
noise.
No, it was not. Mark sent me a different one. No, it wasn't. This is the first one.
The one's more jail celly than slidey dory. Gotcha.
The second one.
The second one sped up a little bit. It's the same fucking noise. Just
complain to Mark because he gave it to me.
Just throw a random sound effect in there every time. It does. I'm sure you can just download. Just go on and download a series of radio morning show sound effects.
I should.
That's what we've devolved into since I bought this company.
Yeah, well,
we're gonna do that.
I don't know where you put you put your money in weird places.
If we are gonna devolve into a wacky morning radio show, let me know because I would love to do prank phone calls and just throw them on there. I'll call GameStops in the area.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the games that are coming out next month. So I asked each of you to look at the list. I sent you the list and pick out 2 games that you're most interested in. So since we started with Mike with games that he's playing, we'll start with you, Phil. What are the 2 games that you're most interested or most excited about coming out next month? Next month is a big list, by the way. Like that is a huge list. Yeah.
Without putting any research into the first game, I'm intrigued by the Hellboy game just because it's Hellboy and comic book related. Therefore, I'm intrigued. Don't know anything about it. But it definitely is something that I'll keep an eye on just because it is what it is. And the second one that I'm interested in, I might make Mike's list as well, would be Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because Alan Wake 1 was incredible. And I loved Alan Wake 1. I loved everything about Alan Wake 1. I still have the physical copy to this day. I would gladly play it again. And I will probably buy Alan Wake 2 day one because the first one fucking kicked ass.
Nice. Cool. Mike, what about you?
I have bad news.
Oh.
Hellboy was delayed. I think they just announced it today.
Oh.
I'm not sure how far it was delayed to, but they did announce a delay for it. And it's cell shaded. It's a cell shaded game.
As well, it should.
That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So Alan Wake 2 definitely on my list because I absolutely loved Alan Wake 1. I loved the presentation of it, the acting, everything about it.
Was so
awesome.
Good.
So good. Although I was kind of left confused by the ending and I didn't play the DLC. So
I think I did.
Anyways. American Nightmare.
10 years ago. Yeah, I played American Nightmare.
Yes.
And I played the sequel as well, or not the sequel, but the one that just came out for Xbox Arcade or whatever. I played through that as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, Alan Wake. Yep. But I'm also looking forward to this game, and I think it's coming out for all the systems. But the game is called World of Horror, and I'm not a big fan of what are those graphic novel games, where you're reading and choosing and all that stuff.
Visual novels, yeah.
Visual novel, thank you. Visual novel. Did I say graphic novel? I am a fan of graphic novels. I'm not a fan of visual novels, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Phil's. By the way, if you want to go on Twitter and follow Phil, every week he shows off all the comics he got, does a quick minute video, and it's one of the coolest things in the world.
That's cool. That's not stupid. Why do you say it's stupid? It's cool.
I say it's stupid just because of the amount of comic books that I buy and or read and or consume is just asinine.
Like
that part of it is just ridiculous.
I can argue that.
Yeah.
So yeah, World of Horror.
From the comic shop owner when I walk in, they're just like, "Holy shit, the lights are still on this month because of you," and I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, thanks."
Lady, he's putting my kid through college. So this one, if you want to look it up, it's a visual. I think it's a visual novel game, but it looks like the art is done by Junji Ito, who, if you've ever seen any of his horror mangas, like you recognize his art style. His stuff is messed up. So it's really good. It's his comics are awesome. So and that's kind of what it looks like.
World of
Horror.
World of Horror. Okay, I'll have to...
Roger. Just looking at the screenshots will probably give you nightmares.
It's coming to Switch too.
Yeah, and there's a physical copy coming, so that just sweetens the
deal. Wow,
mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So those are your two games, right? Okay. For me, one of the games that I'm really excited about is because I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. So Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord for the VR, that looks really cool. I hope it's awesome because playing as a Ghostbuster in VR would just be amazing, and it would fulfill my lifelong childhood dream of being a Ghostbuster. Even though I don't, I get scared. But yes, Mike. Yes, Mike.
Do you have an AMC movie theater near you?
No, I wish.
Did you hear about that?
No.
For the new Ghostbusters movie that's coming out.
What?
They're releasing. There's the new Ghostbusters movie. It's coming out in March.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of keeping it under wraps.
Wow, I'm a huge I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan. I didn't know this movie is coming out. Yeah. No,
it's
cool.
a sequel to Afterlife. So, AMC is supposedly going to release a popcorn bucket, but it's not a popcorn bucket, but it is full-on plastic, probably about $30-$35, a Ghostbusters trap that opens up and you can put the popcorn in there.
Oh, I gotta.
Exclusive to AMC.
We don't have any here, but I can certainly drive to my parents' place and I can watch it there. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they
awesome.
did that for Ghostbusters Afterlife when it came out, and it was an Ecto 1 popcorn
cool
thing. So it was I haven't used it for anything. It's still sitting. It's sitting on a shelf like any
popcorn.
Jacked up nerdy collector guy. I'm like, I don't want any popcorn. Don't you put any popcorn in there?
Yeah.
It'll ruin the value.
Ruin it. Yeah, exactly. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope this Rise of the Ghost Lord looks cool. I hope it's cool. The other game that I'm really excited for is the Gargoyles remastered game that's coming out. Aspire's coming out with this game, and I don't know if you saw any clips for this game, but the remastered looks amazing. It looks just like the cartoon, the animated cartoon, and it looks so good. It looks so cool. Nice. And I'm a huge. Did you ever watch that cartoon, Gargoyles?
Gargoyles. That's when my tastes in cartoons moved beyond the Disney Power afternoon. So that's my long answer for no.
Oh, okay.
I never watched it. No, I never got into Gargoyles.
Oh, it's so good, Mike. It is so good. See, it's funny because I'm a little older than you, but I will say that Gargoyles was not a cartoon for kids. It was not a cartoon for kids because it was way dark, and the voice acting was so good. They had Jonathan Franks. Yeah, Jonathan Franks. Is that his name? What do I want to say? Flakes, but I don't think it's Flakes. Captain, or I mean, number one on Star Trek Next Generation. Like he was in it. Oh, and so was Deanna Troi. She was also a voice actor in the show as well. It is so awesome. The cartoon is so good.
Did the voice actors come back for the game?
I don't know. I mean, it sounded like with Keith David. Keith David did the voice for Goliath.
I like him.
I think I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But let me just look that up here. Yeah, it was Keith David. He's in the trailer at least, but it's just the opening voiceover of like, he at the beginning of the cartoon. It's like, we are the gargoyles, right? So whatever. But it looks really good. I hope it's as good. I hope it's as good as it looks because I really love gargoyles, and the original wasn't terrible looking, but the remastered looks so cool. So yeah, that's
just to show you how awesome, how many amazing games are coming out this month. None of us said anything about Mario or Sonic or Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. Spider-Man. Well, see, I don't have a PS5, so I'm excited for it. I just don't have one. So, there's so many games coming out. That's crazy. There was another one in there too. I always put this on my list, and you guys would probably laugh at this, but the Seventh Guest VR, I thought that looked cool too.
Why would I laugh at that? Seventh Guest was one of the greatest games ever. I loved that. Was the first game that ever jump scared me.
Did you ever play the 11th Hour?
No.
Oh, the 11th Hour is way better than the Seventh Guest.
No. I got sick of that because there was the one area in Seventh Guest where you're playing like some kind of weird checkers game or Othello or something like that against a ghost.
Yeah.
And you just cannot beat that for the life of you, no matter what. And I spent hours and hours, and finally I just flipped the computer over.
Yeah, the same thing happens in the 11th Guest or the 11th Hour, I mean, as well. Where you have to play, I think it's Othello as well. And we beat it once, and we got to the end. And there's different endings, and I say we. It was my girlfriend at the time that her and I played that game. But there's different endings in that game, and we only got to see one ending. And we debated whether or not we were going to pick the bad ending, because there's obvious choices that would be a bad ending, but we picked a good ending. The other game that I really liked during that time too, I kind of hope that they come back out with this game. Is do you ever play the Gabriel Knight, Werewolf Within? Oh, it's so good. That's okay. You guys gotta look that stuff up. Was that
a Kinect game?
No, that was a
It was a game called Werewolves Within.
Yeah. That's different? I know what you're saying. That's different. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a Gabriel Knight game. And it's all the video. It's all like what do you call that? FMV. It was really good. It was really good. It was so good. So interesting. He gets bit and he turns into a werewolf, but he's trying to figure out.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. The game's been out for like 40 years, so 30 years.
I was going to play it this weekend too.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, you can still play it.
That's that's how far back my backlog is. I'm finally able to get to those games.
I finally got to the Gabriel Knight game that came out 30 years ago.
I'm going to play this, and then
next week I'll be starting Space Invaders.
Yeah. I was going to say Jazz Jackrabbit, but sure, I'll go with that too.
Okay, let's go on to our second to last segment here for this week. And this week,
Tales from the eShop.
So we have the Tales from the eShop. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, because we didn't talk about this last week, we gave you Gunbrella to play, the demo of Gunbrella. Mike, do you have a little thing on it? Do you want to talk about the game? Do you want to give a description?
It's a guy with a shotgun that doubles as an umbrella.
There it is, 75.
It's a 2D action game.
Platformer.
Oh, Mike, you put like Philic levels into this.
75%, baby.
Yeah.
You're still 15% ahead of me.
Phil, what do you think?
I'm gonna really have to dial back pretty far back in the memory banks. So it's 2 weeks ago, and things from 2 weeks ago are pretty fuzzy. What I can tell you is I really, really enjoyed this game. I thought the demo was slicker than snot on a pump handle, as my grandfather used to say. It reminds me a lot, in a strange way, of Bionic Commando. The way that like the umbrella kind of gets used as an implement that can get you around. I think the controls were tight. I enjoyed the gunplay as well. A little bit of exploration involved in it as well, with no real direction. You kind of get some hints, which almost has like a Castlevania 2 or Zelda 2 kind of a feel to it, which I didn't hate that either.
Absolutely.
But my time that I spent with it, I enjoyed. It's good, crisp, clean, a little on the gory side in a very pixelated form, which is not a bad thing either. If I recall correctly, it starts out with like you having a flashback at some kind of a house as somebody getting murdered, at which point you go and try to explore and get back to, maybe I'm going to say revenge just because I like the word revenge. It's fun. But it throws you right in there right away, and you visit some towns and you hop on some trains, you do some exploration, you kill some rats. If memory serves me correctly, I defeated the first boss, and I think that's where the demo ended as well. And I loved every second I had with this game, and as soon as it comes to an actual console, I will buy it and play it.
Ouch, yeah. I have been playing it on the Nintendo Switch, and yeah, I agree. I mean, everything you said is spot on. That game is fantastic. It's really good, and it's cool. There's like little things, little nuances that they do where like when you shoot at a barrel full of fire, like your bullets turn to fire a little bit. They shoot out fire. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute gem of a game, and once it's no longer on the Switch and it's on something else, I will definitely download it and play it. And I'm saying that due to controller preference more than anything else.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably on Steam as well, but you don't play games on Steam either. So
yeah, I don't have a computer that can Steam. I have a Steamy computer, but it's not one that steams.
Yeah, no, the artwork is really good in the game.
Yeah.
I like the color schemes too. It's like very like
noir feeling or looking.
Yeah, noir feeling. Yeah.
I really enjoy I know it's a weird thing to say, the gravity.
Yep.
It's just like when you launch yourself up with the Gunbrella or something. It's just like just the right amount of floatiness. I don't know. It's exactly what I like in a 2D.
Yeah,
it feels good. It looks good. It sounds good. Everything about it from what we got to play is good, if not great.
Yeah, and I agree with you on the Bionic Commando comment as well, because like even when you take your umbrella and you're zipping down those lines, stuff, like totally reminded me of Bionic Commando. So
I loved Bionic Commando. So yeah, I didn't even think about that, but now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah. So this is why I gave you that game, Phil.
Because you knew I played Bionic Commando.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that comes close to wrapping up our segment this week, right? Wait.
Oh,
what is this?
Oh, we have our good buddies here.
Oh no.
Crap.
Good evening to the Gamerheads crew and to all of you listening. It is I, the Ghastly Gamer, Retro Game Frankenstein. For those of you who are unaware, I am just like regular Frankenstein, only I am constructed completely out of retro video games. For example, my left knee is made from Clock Tower, and my forehead is Silent Hill. Every week in October, I drop by the Gamerheads podcast to assign a horror game for Roger, Phil, and Mike to play. But this year is a little different, for you see, over the last 11 months, I grew tired and lonely during my travels. As a plastic, cartridge-based monster roaming the countryside, one would gather that I had very little friends. Most people ran away from me in fear, and those that talked to me wound up trying to steal parts of my body to sell on eBay. So to solve this problem, I drove my 1987 Buick Riviera down to the Gamers Convention in Toadsuck, Arkansas. I purchased a multitude of horror games and built myself a companion. So now, I would like to introduce my loving wife, Bride of Retro Game Frankenstein. She will assign the game this week. Say hello, honey.
Hello everyone, and thank you for having me. I am so happy to be here to talk video games with you three, all your listeners, and most importantly, my wonderful husband, my sugar buns, my little RGF. I love you, boo.
I love you too, Snookums. Now, can you please introduce the game the guys will be playing this week?
Sure thing. Love of my life. This week's game is called Breathing Fear. It is currently $1.99 on the eShop, and is a 2D scary house exploration game. Here's the description. Embark on a non-linear and scary survival adventure game. Why are you in this abandoned house in the woods? The only thing you know for sure is that strange things need to be solved. Disturbing letters, recordings, paranormal events. They drive you crazy, but you need to keep a clear mind and shed some light on those mysteries. That is your game for this week. And the graphics are retro too, just like my Frankie. So I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for having me on the Gamer Faces podcast.
Sweetie, we went over this. It's the Gamerheads Podcast. You literally practiced this speech until 4 a.m.
Well, that's only because you didn't give me enough time to adequately prepare for the show. What did you expect? Oh, I'm so sorry I messed up one word. You feel better now, Your Holiness.
Can we not do this here? You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Oh, so now I'm embarrassing you. How do you think I felt when your arm fell off at the TGI Fridays last week? I was mortified, but I didn't say anything.
Well, that's probably for the best, because 90% of what you say is stupid as hell.
Who do you think you are talking to like that? You can't talk to me like that.
I can talk to you however I want. You are the one who always
Why
has to
must
make
every
things
little thing
so
I do be picked
difficult?
apart and
Why
ripped to
can't
shreds?
You just understand
All I'm
that
trying to
as a
do is help you out with your dumb show, and you treat me like this. I could have been out with the girls tonight, but no, I had to take part in your silly little adventures. This is why you won't settle down, because you spend all your life playing video games and reliving your childhood. Newsflash bucko, the Mint 1880s are over. Doc Brown is not going to swoop down in his DeLorean and take you to the future, so why not live in the here and now? You don't have a clue what goes on today. Did you even know that they brought back pumpkin spice lattes?
Okay.
Wow,
that was awkward.
That was
They walked
awkward.
away.
Yeah, yeah, they just walked away fighting. Yeah, wow. I hope that they get things resolved before next week, because that'd be pretty awkward. Yeah, our friend came back and he built himself a wife apparently,
and we got a domestic out of it on live on air too.
Yeah.
Oh, so what is the game? What is the game?
I'm sure things will be resolved by next week.
Yeah, hopefully. What is it called? I'm sorry. What?
Breathing Fear.
Breathing Fear. Okay.
Breathing Fear. Currently on the eShop, obviously.
For $1.99.
For $1.99. But if you own one of those other games, like that the developer also made, or the publisher also made, you can get the game for 19 cents.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll have to look and see if I can get it for 19 cents. So that is the challenge that we have this week, is that we have to go play that game. So when we come back, instead of Tales of the eShop, we will review the game that RGF's wife gave to us. So
Bride of Retro Game Frankenstein. That's her name.
BRGF.
Okay, sorry.
BRGF.
Yeah.
Burger.
Goes nice with Peter.
All right, so
which again, international relations, Mike. See, this is the thing.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, before we head out, I'll tell people how they can find us on social media. So, Mike, how can people find you on the social media?
You can find me on Twitter at PezGuyMike.
And Phil, how can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Bino23, but Bride of Retro Game Frankenstein, if things don't work out, you can find me on Tinder as well.
Wow. Listeners, you can follow us on Twitter at GamerheadsPod. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at Gamerheads Podcast. You can also go to our website at GamerheadsPodcast.com. And then you can find me on Twitter at Nintendo Ranch. And if you so incline, you can send us an email at info@GamerheadsPodcast.com, where you can let us know what you think of the show. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Mike, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Glad to be here.
And Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
It's always a fucking pleasure.
Wow. Listeners, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to give us a listen. If you like what you hear, leave us a review. We want to hear what you have to say about the show. Until next week, everyone, stay safe and game on. Bye.
So long.
Take care.